Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
What's up, everybody? Kevin Jackson here, back from Washington, D.C., where I attended CPAC. Yeah, it was an amazing event. Obviously, President Trump spoke there, and the media was all over. It was crazy. And you know what's funny about the whole thing? By the way, it's Kevin Jackson Show, KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. What was cool about it was how President Trump continually touts the media. He taunts them. He'll go, yeah, you know, those guys back there, yeah, they hate me. They don't like me. They don't, you know, and he taunts them. And they continue to film because, boy, let me tell you, they were riveted. Let me tell you the outtakes of CPAC. For me, it's much the same. They highlight a few people who are going to get them the most sunshine. And you got to agree with that. I saw my buddy Dan Bongino. Dan's doing great. He comes up to me, Kev, I see you everywhere, dude. What's up? And I'm like, shut up, Dan. You see me everywhere. This dude has been on Fox, I mean, practically every day. And good for him, man. He's got the number 2 radio broadcast. He says 2 million listeners to his radio per month, his radio show per month. That's major market. That's like being in, say, 40 major markets, because a major market is about 50,000 listeners in a market. At least 20 major markets. That's the kind of numbers. And congratulations to him. Shapiro's number 1. Don't know what his numbers are because it's probably 5 million. It's probably a big gap between him and Dan. And shouldn't be, because Dan's riveting, sharp dude. Man, he was thick. He was working out. So have I been by the way. But we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, man, these people calling me out on Twitter, Kev, wanting to fight. He goes, I'm 6'1", 225. And you could tell he'd been in the gym. And I said, well, I'm not as big as you, but when they call me out, I ask them all the time, where are you? Shoot. And Dan was mad because somebody had called him out on Twitter. You know, like, oh, I wish I was there to beat your butt. And Dan was like, I wish you were too. So we rapped about a lot of stuff. And he's looking forward to the rest of this year as I am, because we got the Democrats on the ropes. If CPAC taught you anything, it's that conservatives are united like you wouldn't believe. And let me tell you something. The youngsters, they were all over the place. Now, you could say, well, Kevin, that's just a representative group of a small amount of people. Okay, fine. They're always the naysayers. Folks, the temperature of the water has changed in D.C. and around the country. Donald Trump speaks to the lower level, the people that normally don't get the news from Trump. They see what's going on. We are exposing scandal after scandal. A good example, the Parkland shooting. I'm listening to CNN, and of course, Mary Catherine Ham, she's on there giving some very good logical reasoning behind this shooting. But there are other CNN people going, John King said, you know, look, you can look at all the issues around guns and all these other things, but let's face it, this is not just a gun issue. This is a system breaking down issue. We'll play that when we come back. We'll play a few clips of this stuff because we got a lot to talk about. But what I do want to talk about is this, because everybody's asking me, first of all, Kevin, did you speak at CPAC? I did not. I ran into Matt Schlapp after the fact and said, Matt, what's up? And he looked at me, oh, Kev. And I'm like, you know, and I didn't talk to him because he's busy, you know, signing autographs to people asking him what's going on. But I said, let's talk after the fact, because I want to know why there's so many panels and so many great discussions we should be having. And I was talking to people about, you know, abortion and gun control and all these different things from a real solutions point of view. And I'm not kidding you guys. I'm not saying this for any other reason, because I believe God speaks to me in this particular manner. And people were just like, I've never heard that. That's an amazing way to put that. Oh my gosh, they start taking notes. I mean, these are big time politicos that hadn't heard what I've said about these topics. And so I'll get back with Matt on this. But then I get a note from a friend of mine. Kevin, we missed you at the White House invitation for Black History Month. You know, and so where were you? And I'm like, where was I? I checked my mail. I didn't get one. Now, am I upset that the White House didn't send me, the great Kevin Jackson, an invitation for Black History Month? No, I don't celebrate Black History Month. But, you know, just the idea that there's a group of people that are ignoring our work. It's frustrating. Had a meeting with a buddy of mine up there, very powerful black Republican. He's been in this fight for decades. This dude is so sharp on policy and how to stop folks from, how to use the information we have against the left. And I'll give you an example. We have the 50-year anniversary of the shooting of Martin Luther King, the death of Martin Luther King Jr. I can guarantee you the Republicans have nothing planned for this. Now, when you say, Kevin, why would you plan something for the death of Martin Luther King? I want you to stop for a second and ask yourself, when is the best time to attack the left? Is it on Martin Luther King's birthday, or is it when some crazed Democrat, some racist Democrat shot an icon? You starting to get it? See, we miss these things. We miss the opportunities to remind people who did it. You want to get into the black community? Tell them this crazy white Democrat shot and killed your icon. And you know what? Nobody wants you to know that happened. Nobody talks about that birthday. By the way, the 50th anniversary of it. This is what we got to start focusing on. People, Kevin, what should we do to just get in the black community? Well, hello. Is this thing on? That's what you do. You remind people of the heinous acts of the left. How many of these things have we overlooked? By the way, the person who Coretta Scott King called in to eulogize her, to sit with her husband, after he had died, to sit with her and understand it, will be part of an event that we're putting together for this. But I just want you to understand this is where we are. Back to the CPAC. What was the most powerful thing? Obviously, the president showing up. But here was the biggest issue. Donald Trump's ease. I've seen his speeches. This guy has got a year under his belt, and he even said, he goes, hey, we got a year. Now we kind of know what we're doing. Think about this, the year this man has had. And he's going, I'm finally kind of settling into the job. I get it. Biggest fear that the left should have taken from that event was Donald Trump saying, I'm starting to understand this. Everybody else is talking about a bunch of other stuff. The biggest fear that the left better take, and your biggest sense of pride you can take from CPAC, I'm telling you right now, is the fact that Donald Trump said, I'm starting to really get this. Those words.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.